A lot of people want to know, how is child support calculated? Am I going to have to pay child support? Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, the short answer is somebody's probably going to have to pay child support. And here's what goes into it. The main things are, how many overnights does each party have with the children? That's number one. Number two is, how much income does each party bring in? And then there are some deductions for some other things. And it's a pretty complicated statutory math problem. Don't even go look at that table in the statute. It's crazy. But what we do is we take all your financial information about your income and the potential deductions, etc., and we plug it into a fabulous thing, a fabulous spreadsheet that just does the math problem for us. And if you want to know more about that, then definitely come talk to me and we'll plug in your numbers. Can child support be modified? The answer is the standard lawyer answer, and that is, it depends. So it depends first and foremost on whether or not there's been a substantial change in circumstances, right? So for example, when you signed the marital settlement agreement and the final judgment incorporated it, and it said that she was paying you X amount of dollars in child support every month, but then she moved away and there's now a long distance parenting plan in place, and she makes more money, and you have the child more of the time, that would qualify as a substantial change in circumstances. But you can't just change it automatically. You're going to have to go back to court and file a petition for supplemental modification of your final judgment. That's a lot of legal words to say. You got to go back and tell the court, hey, these things happened that are a substantial change in our lives, that have changed the parenting plan and the time-sharing agreement, and have changed how much money is available on either side of this equation. And then you can, once you make that case, yes, indeed, you can obtain a modification in some way. Know this, the whole math problem has to get done all over again. All those disclosures that you did in your divorce, all that has to happen all over again. So remember, it's not an inexpensive process to go back in terms of money or time. It's just as costly, just as time consuming, just as sometimes heart-wrenching as the divorce was. So keep that in mind. But yes, when you need it, it's there. So what happens if I miss a child support payment? Well, is it just one child support payment? Because just, you know what, get caught up really fast and no biggie. However, if you have a pattern of not making your child support payments and you've got a big whopping sum that is now due, there are a lot of things that could happen that aren't great. First and foremost, interest is going to accrue on that. Second, if your spouse has to take some kind of court action to get you to pay, then in all likelihood, they're going to be able to recover their attorney's fees for that from you. And then the other thing that can happen is the court might find you in contempt of the child support order, which is not great. Also, more attorney's fees for your spouse on that front. And potentially, depending on how long you let this go, jail time. Additionally, if you are making payments through the Florida Department of Revenue's Child Support Depository Unit, the state depository unit, and you're not making your payments there, you will get notices and you will have your driver's license suspended at some point, plus loads of other problems that are going to ensue. So at the end of the day, figure it out. Work with your spouse, tell them what's going on, figure it out together. What if my spouse is not paying child support? What do I do about that? How do I get it? How do I enforce it? What do I do? So there are a couple things you can do. The cheapest way to get your child support payment is pick up the phone, figure out what's going on, and make a payment plan with them. Get it in writing, do it yourself. That's a way you can do it. Now, if he's not paying child support or she's not paying child support, that may not work. I'm just going to say. So then the next thing you can do is talk to your attorney about it. Go back to the attorney that helped you with this in the first place, or find someone that you really trust and like, and go back and lay out the facts to them. Let them know how long this has been going on. And do a cost benefit analysis. Look at, well, how long is it going to take to get through a legal process again? How much is it going to cost to get through another legal process? And is it worth it given the amount of outstanding child support that there is? Now, those are the things that you can do. You can also go straight to the Department of Revenue and go there. It's an administrative process. You're not going to have anyone to really speak with during the course of that to give you some guidance. It's strictly administrative. So if you want to know what your options are and you're finding yourself in that situation, then give Brava Law a call and we'll figure it out with you.